Chapter 10. Day 4 of our visit. Sunday. On Sunday morning, I woke up feeling very excited as I looked forward to taking my mother out to dinner and hearing her side of the story of why she left us 49 years ago. She had already promised we could discuss it, so I was bursting with joy over what this day would bring. I was planning on striking up the conversation when we took her out for dinner. There we would have privacy away from the boarding home in which people were always around. For months, ever since our reunion visit, I had been looking forward to my mother talking to me about why she left. I was not able to ask about it during the initial reunion visit because I felt like it was too soon since we had just met her again after so many years. It had taken a long time for her to finally open up to us during that visit. When she did, she only talked about positive things that made her smile. I sensed strongly that she would not feel comfortable opening up about why she left, so I refrained from asking her about it at that time. However, after my brothers and I had returned home from our initial reunion visit, I was talking to her on the phone. I had asked her if she would be okay with talking to me about why she left. She told me she would be okay with it, but she could not talk about it over the phone because office workers were listening, and she did not want them to know her business. I was happy to learn that she was willing to talk about it. So, for months, I had looked forward to the precise moment in time that I would be sitting next to her listening as she openly shared her story. After rising out of bed, Erica and I packed our suitcases, put them in the car, and checked out of the hotel. We skipped breakfast in our anticipation of taking Mother out to eat. Since she was expecting us to come at 1 o'clock, we had the entire morning to do whatever we wanted to do. We went shopping. I had observed that the flip-flop shoes she was wearing did not provide the support I felt she needed for her feet. So I bought her some comfortable sandals and some socks before going over. It was around noon when we finished shopping. Having nothing else to do, we went on over to the boarding home. When we got there, we exited our vehicle and walked to the front of the boarding home. Geneva was sitting outside on the front steps, smoking a cigarette. "You all are early," she said. I couldn't help but marvel at the way she was cognizant about the time of day. I had been carrying an incorrect assumption that she was not supposed to know what month, day, or time it was due to her mental illness. As always, she was acutely aware. We explained that we did not have anything else to do after shopping, so we just came on over. Just then, she announced, "I'm not going." My excitement evaporated immediately at her words. That was a moment I had looked forward to for months. The moment that I would finally be able to spend time with her away from the boarding home and get the answers I needed about why she left our family. In an instant, I remembered the evening before, when she talked about her reluctance to go out to eat with us. I recalled in my mind how she had mentioned feeling embarrassed about the idea of hopping into a restaurant due to her painful hip. Even though I felt disappointed about her backing out, I understood where she was coming from. I could not be angry with her for deciding not to go. She had given us fair warning that she may be uncomfortable about going out in public. I just did not take full heed to her warning due to being so enthusiastic about the possibility of it all. It quickly dawned on me that she was accustomed to being either at the boarding home or at the center. She had not been acclimated into going out to public places. So, although she said yes at first, I believe she changed her mind when she realized it would not be realistic for her to limp herself into a public place after being sheltered in mental health facilities for so many years. After getting over the initial shock of her proclamation that she was not going, I noticed a lady sitting on the front steps smoking with my mother. She was a resident of the boarding home. She introduced herself and asked who we were. Geneva offered her usual answer of how it was none of her business who we were. At the same time, I was saying, "This is my daughter," pointing at Erica, and "I'm her daughter," pointing at Geneva. The woman said, "Geneva, I didn't know you had children." Geneva just stared ahead with a blank look on her face and did not respond. She did not seem upset about me telling her secret, however. I realized she had lived in denial about having children for so many years, and that she did not like people knowing her business. However, I got the feeling that she was okay with me telling the truth and that she would not dare want to risk crushing me by denying me to the woman after I had claimed her with so much excitement. I wondered if she had been in denial as a way of burying the emotional pain and embarrassment of having left us so many years ago. Everyone who I met at the boarding home acted shocked about Geneva having children. Some of them had known her for over 15 years, and they never had a clue she had given birth. After a few moments, I accepted the fact that my mother was not going to allow us to take her out to eat. In my heart, I still needed to hear her tell me her story of why she left. I felt determined not to leave town without having that conversation with her. I offered to spend some time with her there at the boarding home before we got on the road back to Kansas City. She accepted my offer and seemed happy about having us stay and visit with her for a while. I told her I bought her some sandals and socks and that I was going to give them to her when we went out to eat. Since we were not going, I asked her if I could go get the items out of the car and give them to her. She said that would be okay. I went to the car and came back to the front of the house with the shopping bag in my hand. I took out the items and showed them to her. She tried on the shoes and said they were very comfortable. She really liked them a lot. After she had finished smoking, she stood up and picked up her backpack. Then she invited us inside and asked, "Do you want to sit where we were sitting yesterday?" She was referring to the living room, where other residents were sitting and the television was up very loud, making it hard to hear each other talk. This was my absolute last opportunity to talk to her about why she left, and I knew it would be difficult, if not impossible, to talk about it in the living room. So I responded, "No." She said it was more comfortable in there. I said, "It is? Oh, okay." We all went into the living room. Erica and I sat down on the couch. My mother announced she would be right back and left out of the room, leaving her backpack on the floor in front of the couch. While she was gone, I expressed to Erica that I wished the television was not on. I was afraid it would interfere with my mission of talking with my mother about why she left. Not only was the television on, but once again it was very loud. I thought even if we were able to talk, we might not be able to hear each other. We could not just turn it down because, for one, it was mounted high up on the wall, not to mention that other people were watching it, and we were just the visitors with no say on the matter. We chatted until finally my mother walked back in. She was wearing the comfortable sandals I had just given her. I asked, "How do those feel?" "Nice and comfy," she said, just before sitting down in between Erica and me on the couch. I did not bring any pictures for her to look at this time. Mother asked us where we stayed, and we told her the name of the hotel. She had never heard of that hotel. She began to tell us about various other hotels that she knew about in the area. As she was talking, I remembered how well Erica was able to inspire her to open up and talk on Friday. So, I asked Erica if she had any questions. We both laughed because she knew exactly what I meant. The type of questions that would help my mother open up and give me the answers I so desperately needed from her. We were at the end of our visit, and I wanted to hear her tell me her story of why she left. Erica did not have any questions at that time, but Mother did. "Did you hear from Terrence?" she asked. She was referring to the situation the day before when I failed to call Terrence and Grayson on time for the 4 o'clock video call as I had promised. I told her I had talked to him and he had forgiven me.
If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to our channel.